Welcome to Mr. R. Let's get started. Ladies, what is the most obvious hint you've dropped that went unnoticed by a guy? I have a pole in my living room, so one day I dressed like a schoolgirl and waited for my boyfriend to get home. He walks in and I started doing some pole tricks and he literally walked past me into the bedroom to change. I was like, ah, hello, I'm trying to fuck, and he said, oh, I just thought you were dressed like that. He kinda killed it. Damn, as soon as you said pole in my living room I was like, how could he not notice? Early interaction with my boyfriend. Me, that suit looks great on you. It would look better on the floor. Him, that would wrinkle the suit. Guy has good priorities. I approve. I look back on it now and see how I totally missed the hint. In college, a girl in my class came over to study, and when it got late she ended up wanting to stay. I had a couch in my room and said she could sleep on the couch when I was getting ready for bed. I usually have a hard time falling asleep. Do you want to lay down together and watch Netflix with me? Nah, I got a test tomorrow. But hey, I got an A on that damn test. Christina, if you're out there, I'm not gay, I'm just oblivious to hints. My then not boyfriend and I were waiting at the train station on my train home. He would leave with the bus after it arrived. My train came, and I thought fuck it, and kissed my then not boyfriend on the mouth. Immediately after, I jumped on the train, on which the doors then closed. I didn't see his reaction, nor felt it, so I sat pretty anxious on the train, thinking I ruined it all. About 5 minutes later, I got a text saying, that was meant as a friend's kiss, right? Lol, bless his heart. Last summer I was doing my best to seduce who is my current boyfriend. We were going swimming at a friend's house, and while they were changing into their bathing suits in the house, me and him make our way to the pool. I take advantage of this moment to strip in front of him, as sensual as possible. Bathing suit was underneath my clothes. He runs past me, full sprint, and cannonballs into the pool. He was probably hiding his boner. Definitely. Classic strategy, can't spot a tent in motion. A boner in motion stays in motion, unless acted upon by an unbalanced force. Put out my hand for him to hold, and he high-fived me. Did you expect him to leave you hanging? What is holding hands but a really slow drawn out high five anyway? I knew this girl for a year and had kinda had feelings for her the whole time. We got close for a few weeks, and one time I'm watching some films at hers. It gets late and I start to head out. She says, I don't want you to go. Thinking she was just feeling lonely or whatever, I follow her upstairs and we get in bed and do nothing. Lights go out. We start going to sleep. I'm sitting there the whole time thinking, damn, I wish I had the balls to make a move but don't. Then she sits up, takes her top off in a way I couldn't possibly miss, and lies down again. Still, I don't get that she's trying to make moves on me. 10 minutes later she finally gives up and just kisses me. She mocked me about this for months after. I had exactly this happen, but it was at my place. Eventually walked her down to her car at 2 AM, and she turned around to give me a hug, but I was standing like 5 feet back by the curb waving goodbye. I knew I fucked up as these things were occurring, but that didn't stop me from fucking it up. One time I was texting my BF and told him that I bought a vibrator for the nights he was away at work or something. Rather, his exact response was, oh cool, what color? I sent him a pic of it, and he replied with, can you put it up your butt too? I sent him a text replying, come over and find out, and he replied 2 minutes later, never mind, I just googled it. Me, so you're saying, if I like this guy, I should just be straightforward and ask him out? Him, yep. Me, okay, do you want to go out with me this Friday? Him, yep, just like that. It was perfect. Me, edit, whoops, totally forgot about this. Yep, this was like 10 years ago, so this is how I remember it. I was trying to feel him out before that, because I really had no idea if he was into me at all, and if he said no, then I could kind of play it off as a joke. I was a teenager, give me a break lol. After the pause, I repeated myself, but put emphasis on you, and he laughed and said yes. I love to share this one. A long time before my husband and I started dating, we were partying in my apartment. He said he was going to crash on the couch. I told him, you can come sleep in my bed. I shit you not, he said, well, where would you sleep? I can't kick you out of your bed. The gentleman. Back when my boyfriend and I were just friends, there was a night I spent at his apartment. After hanging out together all day, I was going to sleep on the couch, but I managed to talk my way into his bedroom. To get myself into his room, I think I said his roommates or his neighbors were too loud. He got back up to get me a pillow and a blanket so I could sleep on his floor. I had taken off my bra and had asked to borrow his sweater at this point. After a while, I joked that he was hogging all the blankets up in his bed. He finally invited me up, so then I said I couldn't sleep and suggested we stay up together to watch a movie, Netflix and chill. I had just read in an askreddit thread that Jurassic Park was a good date movie, so I suggested we watch it on his phone. Without mentioning the date movie part, I was beyond nervous at this point. So we are in his bed, he's holding the phone above our eyes, and I decide to lean on his shoulder and slowly begin the process of inching closer to him. We laid there all night, curled up yet barely touching, neither of us breaking the spell for so much as a peck on the cheek. We fell asleep. He wouldn't end up asking me out until 5 months later. We reenacted this scene on a hotel bed after sneaking up a bottle of wine from his office Christmas party. This time, I decided to stop being so shy. After a few sips of white wine, I finally felt brave. I looked up into his eyes and kissed him. Later that night, we admitted that our mutual hesitation during that first night was due to nerves from not wanting to risk our friendship for a one-night stand. The only potential problem in us jumping into a relationship was a distance, because we were living almost 2 hours away from each other. So less than a week after that, I took the bus down to stay for another night. I told him I loved him and that we should try being together anyway. We've been together ever since, and we are moving in together in a few weeks. So I've actually had sex with a girl before realizing she was actually into me. She knocks on my dorm room door wearing a miniskirt and carrying a chocolate cake, a whole chocolate cake, and says she just baked it and was wondering if I'd like to try some. I tell her that I'm not a big fan of chocolate, crushing her, but was intelligent enough to add that I'd like to try it anyway. We set the cake aside. I invite her in, and she asks what I'm up to. I tell her the truth, that I was about to start watching V for Vendetta, and she squeals that she loves that movie and asks if she can watch it with me. We lay down on my unfolded futon and start watching it together under a blanket. This was in the dead of Boston winter. We're watching the movie and she starts making all these comments about Hugo Weaving. I love Hugo Weaving so much. God, Hugo Weaving is so hot. Man, Hugo Weaving makes me so horny. And all this time I'm like, yeah, he's a great actor, I loved him in The Matrix. Maybe 20 minutes pass by and all of a sudden I feel her rubbing up against me and she's, well, touching herself. Sorry, I hope you don't mind. I just got really horny and couldn't help myself. And here I'm thinking I'm the luckiest dope in the world, and I'm so glad I picked a movie that had Hugo Weaving in it. Of course I say something like, oh, that's okay. I understand. I have actresses that really do